Welcome back. My name's Mulligan and this is Satisfactory. We are at the coal mine, or my coal outpost. So we have 3 coal mines, all running quite smoothly. Merging them together and then splitting them. Coal generator always has enough coal. Always goes in here, which then fills up. And we have a little car running around here. As you see, these nodes are from the car, for the tractor. So what you can do if you are in the tractor, you can record or start recording, and then you just drive around and you leave a couple little nodes. As you see, all the way up there, goes all the way around, stops there for a second, goes back. So I drove a loop once, and then I said, okay, let's go tractor, and he's now doing his rounds. The only problem is that this steep way up is really slow. He takes a long time to get up this ramp. So yeah, not the most efficient way. But I mean, it works. I'm getting my coal. There he is. Driving up slowly. I did get a new weapon. The Xeno Basher. I did build that. Don't really know if that is a lot more effective than the other one. We will see, I guess. Maybe I find 1 or 2 enemies. I believe there is a snail. Okay. I wanted to check a couple things. I did research a bunch of stuff again. I'm only missing 1 tier 4 research, but we will get to that later. There he goes, and now he can drive again. What? It looked like something was shooting me. Okay. Just a plume of smoke. So yeah, he's going to drive up there. He's going to stop somewhere. Then this is going to drop. Bam. It's just an animation. It's not really combined. And he drives back. Pretty neat. Especially because you can decide where he drives. I can just go onto a node and say, hey, delete node, if I don't want him to stop here. But it works pretty well. Now, interesting is, naturally, the incline makes everything slower, but faster too. So down is pretty fast, up is slow. That's the only problem. So I did want to check this one. This was glittering in the night, which I assume is okay. It's the power slug. Oh, it's one of these. It's glowing. So I'm guessing there's a power slug, but I'm guessing that it is bugged. Yep, there's definitely power slug here. So this is the second one I cannot access. Maybe there's a tool which allows you to access this. I'm not sure. I cannot. At least. Okay, we are going over here. I believe I saw a green slug there. So I did increase production in the main base with power, with our clocking. Now you could potentially just build additional production instead of overclocking. There. Green, glowing. Pretty neat. Let's go. Oh, come on. Really? Luckily, this seems like it is good. So, be gone. Green power slug. I did want to check this thing. These were glowing too. So if we remove these, Mycelia. Biomass burner and vehicle can use it for power. I'm going to guess this is a more efficient power source or fuel source. So there is something swimming in the water. But at this point it was never really aggressive. So not too concerned. I am pretty slow and I have no idea how to duck or go under water. So yeah. Just swimming across. I don't see any real point getting anywhere else or going anywhere else. Apart from the crash site I saw a glimpse of over there somewhere. So yeah, I increased a little bit of production. I upgraded some of the -2 MK2s. They do double the output, which is nice. Doesn't really help me at all because we are more or less capped because of our conveyor belts, which is a shame. What are these? Oh, seems like reeds. Okay. They seem pretty low. Yep, just some kind of biomass. So we have a crash site. Now, what is this? Limestone. Okay. Crash sites are interesting. I do want to see if I can find... What is that? Just... okay, nuts. Let's pick those. There's a doggo. This is a pretty open space, so I would have guessed... Oh, power slug. Definitely. Ah, there's an enemy. I want to check this new weapon. Come here. Don't want to aggro all of you, if possible. I don't know. Is it that much effective? A normal shock baton needs 4 hits. I guess you need 3. Maybe even 2. But I believe 3. So it is more effective. I mean, it doesn't cost much, I suppose. So definitely an upgrade. So let's go look at the crash site. Now, crash sites can have a hard disk in them, which allows you to pick an alternate recipe for one of the buildings. We have some wire. Sure, I take that. You can find some advanced stuff in these, like this one, 2 motors. Nice. They are pretty expensive. Reinforced plates. Expensive. Okay. Getting some of these. We cannot disassemble that. Okay. And we have a drop pod. Now, we need energy to get this one going. Luckily, we are close to our coal plantation. So, we potentially could just... Nah, it's too far. This, however, is not. Where's my power cabling? Over there. 4. Wires too long? Sure. Then... Blam. Get this one. We can go back again. Okay. There we go. Bam. Now we provide 50... Okay. Yeah, because we are using a little bit much power there, we have to do something about that. Which means mostly deactivating stuff. Oh, come on. Okay. Going over here. What is it you want from me? Deactivating more stuff. There we go. Deactivated. Oh, because our main capacity is only 50 megawatts and he needs 50. Luckily, I have a couple power things, okay? Which now gives us 85, which should be enough. Now it could still short circuit if the tractor arrives, because then the whole tractor station has to go and use energy. But we can always just flip the switch as soon as the tractor is gone. Bam, and we have an hard drive. Nice. And that is all we needed. Sadly, we can't disassemble that. So, as I said, hard drives are pretty useful because you can research alternative recipes for stuff like iron plates. Not really. Nah, maybe. But maybe something like a motor alternative recipe for that would be pretty interesting. Maybe one that doesn't need any steel. Maybe just iron and copper. We are going to remove those. We don't need them anymore. And I mean, we have more than enough. We have more than enough coal here. Let's check. Yeah, this is looking still fine. Now I believe you can't drive the tractor while the autopilot is going. I believe the autopilot waits for you to leave, which is a little bit meh. I would like to just drive in it, especially there is a plan, or there are trains that should be in the game at some point. I don't know if they are yet. They were not in the earlier versions I played. But that would make it pretty cool. Just have a train running around, just sit in there while you wait and your base is doing stuff. We have our little power plant over there. We have 7 co-generator, which is pretty beefy. One power generator, co-generator, produces 50 megawatts. One of the bio ones only produced 20. So we see here 50. We have 350. We are not even using 100. And we are doing a lot of stuff. Now, I did have coal running down here. There is a reason. Sadly. So I had 2 ways. Go and over there we had our starting iron. Go and get the iron, pull it or transfer it upstairs, and then produce steel. You need iron and coal to make steel, or get the coal down here and make steel. So this is mostly the same. I did switch up a little bit over here. I introduced a splitter over there, this one here, and split it up the screws again, so this assembler would get 2/3 and this 1/3 of the screws, because the rotor didn't have a second purpose, but the reinforced iron plates would be usable itself and would be needed in the recipe for the modular frames. So I needed twice the amount of iron plates than the rotors. Now that changed because of steel. So the coal is going over there. We do have copper wires there. Still in the second reason. I split it again, the iron ore. I do have the MK2 miner here. So this one is 240 iron per minute. A lot. This is enough to supply 3 smelter and 1 foundry. This is the new building. The foundry allows us to get iron ore and coal and make it into steel. The steel is then getting pumped into this splitter, which puts it into this constructor for steel pipes and this one for steel beams. I did the same trick here again. I have the splitter split 2/3 into this one because we need 3 iron ingots for 1 steel beam. I can climb these at some point here. And we need 1 steel ingot for this steel pipe. So these go into the assembler. Again, we need a lot more steel beams to make the encased industrial beams. Need steel beams and concrete. And this one we need the stator and for the stator we need steel pipes and a wire. That is why the wire is getting pushed over here. I did put some upgrades in these because they are pretty slow. Didn't want them to hold up production. But most of the production is because the steel ingots are not fast enough in the delivery. Coal is now a problem. We have to replace all of these conveyor belts with MK2 or MK3, depending how expensive they are. So we made a couple industrial beams, a couple rotors, not rotor, stator, and the stator is going to get improved further with the rotor to make a motor. And this is mostly all the steel recipes I have at the moment. We have a bunch here. So we can definitely fill up our motors because we need those. We can just, I don't know, is there, we have some stuff we don't really need. But sure, okay, I did change stuff over here. I removed the hub and the equipment bay. We now have the concrete over here, so I had more space for all the steel stuff. And as I said at the beginning, you could just double up production, make a second smelter, something along those lines, but I do like having only one of each and trying to balance that. Feels a little bit more rewarding in my opinion. But okay. Let's go and get the hard drive in. Bam. Begin analysis. Whoop. Put all the garbage away. This one. Screws we can leave. We get the power cores if we ever need power or power charts. Ooh, I didn't know you can repurpose alien carcasses. We don't need that much biofuel. We don't need the coal, really. We are going to trash the coal and the iron ore. Don't really need those. Don't need them to clog up inventory anywhere. Okay. So what we want to do is research the last part. Logistics. We need a couple motors, which I have. A couple more wires, more frames, and even more cable. And we are going to check in here. We need additional 150 motors and 500 of the other frames. So we are going to finish off this one first. So we need more cabling, we need more wires. There we go. And we need more frames. There we go. And most of the time is me just sitting around waiting for stuff to finish. There we go. Pick every little bit up. Get all the motors. No reason not to. If I'm here right now. Need 100 more. They are really slow in production. We should increase production by a lot if we get the the screws going. The problem again, the screws full, iron rods full, it is just not removing fast enough, even with MK2s. And those go all the way to the assembler, so Can't really increase that, but we get MK3, which probably need motors, so expensive. Put all the stuff in here and launch.
Milestone reached. Logistics have improved by the means of a container with increased storage capacity and enhanced conveyor belt efficiency.
So, we have now the MK2 storage container, which I don't know. I don't really know because at least you could do that. You can just stack the normal storage container. Yes, you would have to do it alternatively, so you can just feed into them over and over. So this is what the storage container has as a little bonus. The problem is you don't really need that much storage. Why do I need a storage container full of iron plates, that's the example, or iron rods? There's no reason. Maybe for the later stuff, but even then, if you can have a storage container full, what are you even... If I want to tweak the efficiency to try and get 100% efficiency, I'm just going to trash this stuff. I don't need to save it, because I don't really get anything for that. So, okay, we put as much in as we can. We are halfway there. We can check what is MK3 needing. Oh, it only needs steel beams. That is okay. Surprisingly okay. We're going to switch a couple things. There we go. We now have MK3s here. We're going to replace. There we go. There we go. This is now going a lot faster. I like it. And because we only need steel beams, I can produce them myself if I want to. I don't need them to... can't afford. We need 14. And I do not have a storage for these, because the steel beams are automatically used. Yeah. So I have to make them myself, which is not a problem. I can do that. And I will upgrade some of the conveyor belts for MK3s. One of the most important ones are these screw ones. I mean, this seems fine enough. You see how dense this line is now. So this produces more rotors, which in turn produces more motors, which in turn is better overall. And I see we need a higher production here. And yep, this is running away too. Get a higher production. We don't want them to idle. You should work. And with the 50% increase in production, should be good. Now, one of the things, why would you want to have 100% efficiency? Because if a machine doesn't have any resources, it has to start up again to produce. It has some kind of warm-up time, which takes a couple seconds. So that means that being in an idle state is pretty bad overall. It would be the most efficient if you can, even if you have to go in here and just dial down. These are all upgraded, so you can't really do that here. But for this, if it is not really producing, you could just remove the clock speed to like 3% or whatever. So you can reduce the amount of downtime you have to experience. This one is not my color. All of these are not my color, by the way. I did not really take that into account. Can't have that. Okay, sometimes the coloring is not working, which is one of these problems you have to face in these kind of games. Happens sometimes. I can't color this, or I'm probably too far away. There we go. Far better. Oh. Boop. Nice and fast. So, I will just improve efficiency. I will get all the motors and frames up and running, so we can jump into tier 5 and 6 next time. So stay tuned. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time.